Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. Nice adjustment, putting Lily at the 4 and going a little smaller and quicker. What did you see that led you to make that decision?
It was just that, to go smaller, to go quicker. LSU wanted to take the air out of the ball and walk the ball up and pick us apart on the defensive side of the ball. So I just thought we just needed to pick the pace up, make them play faster, maybe turn them over, but just disrupt the pace at what they wanted to play. There was huge benefit of putting Lee in there from a defensive standpoint, but her runouts and her made layups really gave us the separation we needed to win the game.
David and then Cam.
Hey, Dawn, thanks for doing this. You mentioned the other day that Aaliyah is really hard on herself after games, watching film and that kind of thing. Really two questions. What are some other examples of how, she's kind of beaten up on herself after games that you've seen? And two, do you ever chime in about like, hey, maybe you could do this better, or maybe you're being too hard on yourself?
For Leah, she'll look at, I know definitely the free throws. She's probably beating herself up right now in the locker room. For the other stuff, some of the missed chippies that she's missed, she's gonna look at them and see what adjustments she can make in being more efficient. She's efficient, but when she gets opportunity to score in the paint, she usually makes them at a 60+% in there in the paint, and she really didn't do that if you look at it. But she scored enough. She rebounded the ball. She facilitated. She played huge minutes for us, and I know she was probably tired. But Leah is embracing her role, and that comes with wanting to play perfectly, and we all know she won't do that. But there are areas in which she can improve for us, and that is being more efficient in the paint and embracing the physicality.
Cam and then Joe.
Hey, Coach, so 2 games for y'all this week where you pull out the win after making some adjustments from the first half. Are you feeling more proud of the team for making the adjustments and finding a way to win, or is it more frustration that you guys are having those slow starts to begin with, that you have to work yourself out of those holes?
No, it's pretty cool when you have a team in which can embrace change. I thought, probably in our halftime locker room, coaches locker room, I just thought that taking Destiny Henderson off the ball, meaning we moved Zaya to the point guard position, and we allowed her to initiate some of our offenses. And I thought the game slowed down for Zaya, but it also gave us an opportunity to put Destiny Henderson on the wing to explore her quickness and her ability to make passes and make them adjust. So I thought just doing that in the third quarter really kind of smoothed things out for us. But they were able to do it. I thought we played, some zone at the end of the game. We worked a little bit of it this week, but we don't know how good we're in it until we get some game experience under it. But it's something that hopefully we can utilize in the future.
Joe and then Greg.
Coach, expounding upon that thought right there, when you see your team get tested the way it did and to handle it the way they did, they looked so calm and composed, even though the game was hanging in the balance. How much do you learn about your team in this type of setting, and what confidence does it give you when they face challenges like this? They'll be ready to handle them very well.
Well, Joe, they always look that way. They look that way from last year to this year. They're not a team that flinches, even through mistakes. They pretty much turn the page because they believe in their defense. They believe in the things that they can do well, and they believe in themselves as a unit. And I was especially proud of them, and I told that to them in the locker room that we had to make adjustments. We were in the foxhole. I'm probably saying I'm probably a lot more tougher on them in games like this than they're used to. So I know Zaya looked at me a little strange today because I yelled at her a little bit. But sometimes you got to joke people out of the funk that they're in so they can see something a little bit different. But super proud of our team to be able to make those adjustments. That means they're growing up. I mean, this is a tough place to play, tough team. They got seniors. They've been around the block. They understand. They got big wins in our conference. So, obviously we got to see them again. So we got to look at the film and see some adjustments of them scoring so many points in the paint.
Greg and then Michelle.
Dawn, you mentioned going into this that the matchup zone was going to be an issue for you guys. What did you see in that first half, and what adjustments were you able to make to kind of, get past that? Was it just as simple as moving Destiny to the wing?
No, I mean, we didn't do that until the third quarter. What happened in the first quarter is it was pace. It was LSU's pace. They walked the ball up the floor. So we have a tendency to play at that pace and not score in transition and play solely in a half court where we were dribbling too much, dribbled in traffic. And that type of defense, they encourage you to dribble because they collapse on you and they poke the ball away. So we just tried to dribble less, pass more, not think more. And it came down to just being as simple as this. If you're not shooting, then you're passing. Nothing else in between. Don't hold it. Don't think about it. Move the ball, shift the matchup zone.
Michelle and then Dick.
Yeah, Coach, you talked a little earlier about Aaliyah and how she's sort of evaluated her game. Just from statistically, her first 6 games, she didn't reach 20 points. The last 7 now, she's reached 20 or more 4 times. So I'm wondering if you can sort of pinpoint what you think that is. Is that some different things that you guys have worked on or something specifically with her?
I think the non-conference schedule, people scheme a little bit more. They watched what happened last year. They probably watched the games in which she didn't perform well, and that's crowding her space. And I think she just had to make an adjustment. And she wasn't used to seeing that. It wasn't much, she used to seeing all that traffic, 3 and 4 people digging down at her. And then, we keep watching film and, her and Coach Shamil, who they do a great job of watching film and just making small little tweaks. Her being able to, take the ball to the other side of the basket, use the rim as as another defender, her mid-range. I mean, and I think we're moving her around as well to where she's not just solely in the paint. She can score on the perimeter. She can score outside of 3. She can pass the ball. I mean, she's calm. So she's just more calm in these situations, and that leads to her being able to read a lot better.
Dick, and then we'll close it out with Greg.
Can you talk about how this team has grown into their roles and look comfortable in taking everybody's best shot?
I mean, it's a daily thing. I don't think they are completely satisfied with what their roles are. Obviously, we need a little bit more bump coming off the bench. Lily was good today. LA has to be better for us. We need her. I mean, we're constantly, just telling her that we need her, and sooner or later, she'll fight her way out of whatever funk that she's in. But we also told her that everybody's gone through it. Zaya's been through it. Bree's been through it. Aaliyah's been through it. Everybody's been through it. So it's not going to escape her. She just has to fight her way through it.
And the last question to Greg.
Dawn, you guys went 0 for 7 from 3 in the first quarter. Was that a situation where you guys were trying to maybe force shots, force looks? And moving forward, how often do you want to be shooting the 3?
The matchup zone really, when it's your first time seeing it, and we saw it last year, but it was almost a year ago. So you don't really understand what it does to you. I thought we took the shots that were there. I don't think those shots came off of a one pass and shoot it. We probably had some ball movement. And if we do have that and our post players are touching the ball and it's kicked out and around the perimeter and there's some rhythm to it, shoot it. We're good when we're in rhythm. But our bread and butter is the paint. We got to score in the paint, and we made that adjustment as well.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks,